Hi everyone, I just wanted to show you an idea that we did for a wedding we had at our house recently. We had an absolutely tiny budget to stick to, so we probably spent about $10 or $15 with this idea of the flowers on the ceiling. The bride stayed at our place the night before the wedding, so this had to be made in advance and put up very quickly on the morning of the wedding while the bride was away at the hairdressers. I hope you enjoy the idea. We started out by picking where our focal point would be and strengthening it up with an eye bolt because we wanted to put fairy lights up, so it needed to be a little stronger than normal. Then we had to figure out how far apart we were going to place our strings. So we put a loop in the string and hooked it onto the carabiner in our focal point. From there, we could drape the strings out from the carabiner and stretch them out to the wall where we wanted them to go and take a look. We had to make sure there was enough sag or drag in the string to create that draped sort of curtain look we were after, but without having it hang so low that it got in the way of people who were at the event. We also needed it to sit comfortably under that awkward roof you see on the right, and then just look right with all the other strings together. Once we had all the strings laid out in the right position, we knew where we could place our hooks. And we numbered our hooks from 1 to 12 because that's how many strings we ended up with. We also ended up labeling our strings the same number as the corresponding hook, so that when our helpers helped us on the morning of the wedding, they knew that the end of the string with the number on went to the hook with the same number on, and the other end of the string was left blank, so all the blank ends went to the carabiner. So the first thing you're going to need is a serviette, some ribbon, some garden wire, just the really thin plastic coated stuff, and some scissors, preferably scissors that have the little cutout for cutting the wire so you don't damage your good ones. So grab your serviette and we're just going to fold it into 5 layers, back and forth. And then we'll just take the tip off. Some people like to round theirs, but I actually prefer just to make mine into a point. And something to make sure of is that you actually go over the centre line so that when you cut the other side, you actually cut off the very tip of the serviette. Now grab some ribbon, and I like to use quite a long piece because I want to have a bit of twirl in the middle of our finished product. And don't be too precious about the knot because we're going to move it, because this actually isn't the centre of the flower. We'll move the knot around until it's right on the edge, and then centre it lengthwise. Now we're going to turn it over to the other side and thread a bit of wire through while it's nice and easy. You can do this at any stage, so if you forget, don't worry, just thread it through later on. Bend that wire up and give it a pinch right at the bottom. So you end up with something looking like this. Now, making sure that the ribbon's in the centre of the serviette, we're going to fan out the edges. There should be 4 layers to your serviette. And these are just the absolute cheapest supermarket serviettes. I think I paid, maybe $1 or $2 for 100. And the reason I like them so much is because they have this pattern on them, and it actually helps to separate the different layers. I tried using a more expensive serviette, and I was there for ages trying to separate it. Take the other side, do the same thing. Okay, now I can use my little wire thing on the bottom as a bit of a handle, because what I want to do is turn all the petals facing up but still separated, because the idea is it's going to sit flat like a lily. Okay, that's one. Only 99 more to go. Now, in order to attach the flowers, I grab the flower and just simply twist the cable tie that you've got around and around, and I wanted quite a tight fit because I didn't want them to be sliding up and down the string in the wind. So turn them until they're quite tight, and then no matter what happens, they're not going to move. I'm actually spacing mine further apart than this, but just for demonstration purposes, I just wanted to show you how they're going to sit on the string, and we'll be looking at them from below, so we'll actually be looking up at the bottom of the flowers. So as you can see, I made quite a few. I've got 12 strings there laid out in order from 1 to 12, so it's easy for the helpers to come in and take them out and know exactly where to put them because of the numbers on the strings. Each string is a different length, so it's crucial that they go to the right position. And the thing that made the real difference was the staggering of the flowers. At the head of each string, where it starts at the carabiner, I put a flower on every second string right at the beginning, and then staggered them from there. And that resulted in the look you see here. It was an absolutely beautiful result, and everybody was wowed by it. I hope you enjoyed it.